Hi, beautiful souls. Being blessed here with some glorious sunshine. Last night I went out at the time of solstice, and actually it was a beautiful, beautiful evening, a pink sky, a golden moon, very peaceful out on the beach, just something lovely to walk in nature. And that's really what my intention was, just to walk in nature and to enjoy that. I also did I caught up on a presence event that I'd missed with Sandra Walter. And it's interesting how we change so much at the moment, and we're changing so rapidly. There's just these constant intensities that have been happening all year, and seems like for years, like so many people have been going through consistent dark nights of the soul, changing, expanding, integrating, letting go of everything. And I just keep on, well, I'm not sure if I just keep on saying this or not, but my feeling so much of the time these days is just to keep letting go of everything you think you know, because it really does seem that everything, you have to just let go of everything. If you want to change, you can't hold on to any of your old beliefs, you can't hold on to any of your old ways of doing things. Even yesterday when I was catching up on a presence event, I was like, you know what, this isn't for me right now. Maybe it's for me tomorrow. Maybe it's for me in a week's time. But right now, this is boring me. This is not what I need. What I need right now is to be out in nature. I need to be still. I don't need to be listening to anything or anyone telling me what they believe is the way. And I really feel this is something that everybody should be very aware of, is just, as much as there are wonderful ascension guides out here in this world, and much as there are lots of beautiful souls helping others to tweak their lives to higher trajectories and getting more in alignment with the things that bring them joy and bliss, there's also something to be said in relying on these other people too much that you do not have the discipline to get still within. And also getting the discipline to get yourselves offline. You know, at the moment, online presence is saturated. People's presence online just seems to be saturated here, there, and everywhere. And knowing how long it takes to answer people's messages, you know, you might post something, but then you've got to reply. You can't just post things and then not reply. You can't just post things and not interact with other people. Otherwise, you're missing the point of social media. It's supposed to be social. And I'm all for social, but I can't spread myself that thin. I've done that in the past. And I know what it's like when you spread yourself too thin, try to cover too many areas, try to follow too many people. Not that you're actually following, but, you know, just, you know, sharing love, sharing light with one another. Of course, we want everyone to be happy. Of course, we want everyone to feel fulfilled and joyful and healthy and wondrous. But it doesn't mean we have to lose our own life in doing so. And when I say lose our own life, spend all that time online, spend all that time focusing on those areas just because we are afraid of missing out, or just because somebody's saying we really must be aware about intentionally doing this, otherwise our DNA will not be whatever, blah, blah, blah. Last weekend, I was at a Neil Douglas Klotz event, and just listening to him explaining how Jesus would have spoken, how he would have communicated in the Aramaic as opposed to how the Bible represents the way he would have spoken. And there's so much miscommunication in these words in the Bible and in other texts. But when you hear it in the pure Aramaic, it's so very different. It's so pure and it's so simple. And yet I still feel right now people seem to be making things more complicated. There's a lot of people that are really wise and wonderful. It's like as if they get to a point, it's like, what can I give to others right now? I've covered this, I've covered that, I've covered the other. How can I, up my ante? And it's like, you don't have to overcomplicate things. You can say the same thing over and over again in different ways. That's sometimes just what people need. But I feel that when people overcomplicate things, that's not the teachings of Jesus. Jesus was not a complicated man. There was nothing complicated in his teachings. It was really, really very peaceful and very, very still, very still. And that's what my takeaway was from the event that I went to in Ambleside, that he was a very simple, very gentle soul. And so when I look around and I see people clambering for attention on the socials, or maybe not clambering for attention, but just, rapid fire posting here, I just think, how on earth are people able to be still? How on earth are people actually getting out into nature and spending good quality time out in nature? How is anyone actually being still when they're constantly seeking, constantly posting, constantly searching? You don't have to do any of those. You just have to realize yourself. And I say you just have to, sounds harder than it is, I suppose, to somebody that doesn't realize themselves, somebody that's constantly seeking, constantly looking for better ways to do things. I have been on a healing journey. One of my videos was deleted by YouTube yesterday or the day before, because apparently it went against their guidelines, and the title was A Healing to Wellbeing Journey. I can't even remember the video. I don't keep my videos. I post them and then tend to let them go. And I thought, okay, well, I'm not going to lose sleep over that. So what if they wanted to take that off? But it was interesting that the title was A Healing to Wellbeing Journey, and they didn't like that. They didn't like that because they want you to be in fear. They want you to be complicating things. They want you to get all stirred up and anxious because you're easier to control. And I say them, it's not just YouTube, it's just a lot of darker forces. They want to feed on the louche of those beings that are willing to submit to fear, submit to anxiety, and submit to lower level ways of being. You don't have to do any of that. And I really can tell you that from somebody that has experienced cancer for a long time, coming up to 9 years, and when I was first diagnosed, it was already in my lymph nodes. And so anybody that knows about staging will know what that is. People get so caught up in staging. People get so caught up in illness and disease. But I did it first as well, because it's terrifying when you first get a diagnosis. And then you start to live with it. And then you start to become accustomed to, okay, well, how can I be more peaceful in this circumstance? How can I bring more peace into my life? And the body, you see, will take longer than you to catch up. You might already go, oh, well, I know that I can do this, I can do that. But it's going to take the body a little bit longer to catch up because the body is heavier, denser. So just remember that you want to keep yourself pure. You want to keep yourself still. And even if you don't have any illness or anything like that to deal with, the more still and the more aware and present you are, then you're going to bypass any of those issues before they can even arise. But when you're scattered and you're placing your focus here, there, and everywhere, and you're picking up things you may not even be aware of, because when you scatter your focus, and you're looking and posting online and placing your attention here and there and everywhere, and you fall into scroll holes and all of this sort of stuff, then you might see something, you might not be aware of it, but later it's in there, and you've then got to cleanse and purify yourself again. You're never going to be able to do that so long as you're constantly seeking, searching, fear of missing out. Oh, what are they posting? Or am I doing the right thing? Do I need to be more this? Do I need to be more that? I suppose what I could say is that this is just a reminder that we must all pay attention and be aware to the person that we are, to the multidimensional being that we are, to all of the different aspects and facets of that we are, and pay close attention to the God within, because we are all gods. We are all gods. We all have that spark within us, and listening through our beautiful hearts, opening that heart center, allowing the light to come in and out, just that radiance, connecting with the cosmic heart, and listening to the answers from there, becoming really good at that. Because then when the computers go down, and when there's no internet, and when there's no ability to search here and there and be posting, you'll have that beautiful telepathic ability to communicate with your friends over long distances. You'll have that beautiful ability to know exactly what it is that you must do in the next step. And you don't get to know all of the steps. You get to know the next one. You have faith, right? This is what I'm doing right now. Okay, this is what I'm doing right now. And it's a practice. Still, people are practicing with their minds, still going about ways of the old earth. And you're never going to make that bridge if you're constantly going about things in the old way of doing. You've got to just scrap it all, get still, get really, really simple about things. Get really simple. Just let it all go. Let it all go. And that's what I feel. That's what I know to be true. And it's really takes so much pressure off you. I feel that we have just been putting so much pressure on ourselves. We have been putting so much pressure on ourselves. So much pressure. Why? Why do we do it? Most people don't even know what they want. They allow themselves to be dictated to what they want because they don't have ever any moments of stillness to go within and listen to the wisdom within themselves. And that's why shit happens in their lives, because they've not been listening. They've been listening to everybody else but themselves. That's my message for today. I wish you all a very beautiful day. Remember, check in. Remember, check in with your heart. Check in with the cosmic heart. Open up that stargate. Go within. Great wisdom there. Live a simple life. So much easier. So much more restful. Many blessings to you all. Peace.